Hello and welcome to your Rochester Rundown for the week of April 2nd. Let's get right to it. Well, it's official. It's now legal to possess marijuana here in New York State. The governor signed the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act, or MRTA for short, into law Wednesday. The legislation legalizes the substance for recreational use. It also establishes the Office of Cannabis Management along with a licensing system. It expands the state's existing medical marijuana program and creates a social and economic equity program for individuals disproportionately impacted by cannabis enforcement. Local municipalities can opt out of retail sales. Meanwhile, Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren says the marijuana legalization presents an opportunity to deliver reparations for Black and brown city residents. Warren wants to invest money into a universal basic income program and home ownership opportunities using the dollars that are anticipated to come from marijuana sales.
The people, the neighborhoods, the communities that were most affected by the criminalization of marijuana deserve the opportunity to be the first ones to receive and also to be invested in. The
mayor did not release any information about how these plans might work. The city is forming an exploratory committee with organizations like Ibero-American Action League and others to hammer out the details. Another local woman is accusing Governor Cuomo of sexual misconduct. Greece resident Sherry Ville is the 9th person to accuse the governor. She says in 2017, Governor Cuomo kissed her inappropriately on the cheek while he was in the Rochester area after major flood damage along the lakeshore. Ville says the governor told her she was beautiful during the encounter, saying that made her feel even more uncomfortable. She described the governor's alleged actions as overly sexual and highly inappropriate.
I was holding my small dog in my arms, and I thought he was going to pet my dog, but instead he wedged his face between the dog and mine and kissed me on the other cheek in what I felt was highly sexual manner. I wasn't expecting that at all.
An attorney for Governor Cuomo says, quote, during times of crisis, the governor has frequently sought to comfort New Yorkers with hugs and kisses. The city of Rochester saw 3 fatal shootings in the span of 24 hours this week. It's a rise in violence, greatly outpacing last year. Police are reporting more than 50 total shootings in 2021 and 65 homicides over the course of the last year.
To have 65 people killed in the city of Rochester within the last 12 months is terrible. And I think we as a community really need to take a step back and reflect.
Now for the latest on COVID-19. New York State expanded COVID-19 vaccine eligibility to all residents 30 and older this week. This expansion is nearly a month ahead of President Joe Biden's nationwide deadline for universal eligibility. And on Tuesday, anyone 16 and older will become eligible to receive the shot in New York State. And New York is the first state in the U.S. to formally launch an app that will serve as a vaccine passport. It's called the Excelsior Pass. Through the app, New Yorkers can verify their COVID-19 vaccination or negative test results. The technology is expected to help fast-track the reopening of businesses and event venues. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was at the Bug Jar Wednesday in Rochester to talk about how the American Rescue Plan will be implemented in our area. Also on the senator's agenda, the Save Our Stages Act. The legislation provides 6-month grants to arts venues that saw their profits decimated by the pandemic and the resulting shutdowns. Schumer says those grants will help venues that could not receive PPP funding due to layoffs, venues like the Bug Jar.
So Mr. Jabolski and all the other arts venues here in the Rochester area can survive, and God willing, by September when these grants expire, some of them expire in January, we will have beaten COVID and the Bug Jar will be back in business with lots of performers back again. I heard the Black Keys, they were one of my favorites, were here at one point. Lizzo was here?
Yes.
Wow. So this is a pretty good place, pretty hip place.
Venues can start applying for these grants April 8th. A massive cargo ship stuck in the Suez Canal this week has since been freed, but not before a local man made a video game out of the situation. Users play as a bulldozer trying to desperately move the vessel. Eric Wilder says he built the game in about 2 hours. It got a lot of attention online while that boat remained stuck. And a Rochester radio legend said farewell this week. Dave Kane retired from full-time radio with 40 years at WCMF under his belt. Kane had been a staple of local radio and was inducted into the Rochester Music Hall of Fame in 2019. And that's all for this week. As always, we'll see you next Friday.